The same motions. Leaving at 1300 and arriving at 1306. Okay, first things first. It is 3 days since we could have potentially picked up the card, so I'm immediately going up to level 3. And checking this drawer. You see a tracking device in the drawer. You remove the tracking device from Mike's desk drawer. Now, don't you forget to return the tracker either. Electronic tracking device. I wonder if we can plant that on pass. Because that was sus. That was very, very sus what she just did. Why could she not make that phone call from the station? She's here. Locks the drawer. Gotta take care of some woman stuff, Barnes. Be right back. Can I, like, give you a pat on the back or something and maybe put the tracker in your pocket? There's a subpoena in your basket. If that was there yesterday, I did not see it. You removed a subpoena. You are commanded to appear in the Lytton Municipal Court as a witness in the case of People versus Juan Ruiz. He took us to court. Jesus. You remember that you cited Mr. Ruiz for impeding traffic? We have to go to court over this, asshole. Jesus. All right. Instead of, investigating the attempted murder of our wife, we have to go to court for this asshole. The wheels of justice and all that. Alright, let me just take a very quick look at this. This device allows you to track a person, vehicle, or any other moving object that a tracking device has been attached to. Right now, the only thing I could legitimately attach that device to is the other car in the parking lot. But I would love to be able to shove it in there. Okay, court is just over to the left. It looks like it's on 8th. I've not forgotten about Ames either. Alright, should be just past Rose. Again, there is no frigging driveway here. Oh, this place looks very familiar. I'll be waiting for you in the car, boss. There's no point attaching it here because I can't track it. Listen City Courthouse. You hope Judge Simpson got up on the right side of the bed this morning. Is that the judge from Police Quest 1 VGA? Not sure. This site boasts typical Listen City landscape. There were so many more details in the VGA version. The front entrance to the courthouse. The asphalt looks hot and dry. A nice wide sidewalk runs in front of the courthouse. It's a different view of the courtroom though. You take the witness chair next to the Deputy District Attorney. Objection? The bailiff says in a loud voice, "All rise for the Honourable Judge Mildred Simpson." That's not him. The bailiff says in a loud voice, "Court is now in session. Please be seated." Directing her attention to the prosecutor, Judge Simpson says, "Mr. Cannon, please call your first witness in the People v. Ruiz." "The People call Officer Sonny Bonds to the stand, Your Honor." "Officer, please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?" "I do. It'd be great if we had a choice here. Please state your name and occupation for the cause." "Sonny Bonds, Detective Sergeant with the LPD. Currently working homicide. Was working traffic the other day." Look at him madly typing away there. "Officer Bonds, on September 14, you issued a citation to a Juan Jose Ruiz. Is that correct?" "No, that's not even remotely correct. If Marie was stabbed on the 30th of March, that is not even remotely correct." I'm either misreading the dates or the game is just getting its script completely wrong. But you know what? This came out in the 90s, so, you know. No, it was the 30th of March, dude. I can talk to him? Yes, that's correct. I think. "Officer Bonds, do you see Mr. Ruiz anywhere in the courtroom?" You point out Mr. Ruiz and say, "That's the man there, seated at the defendant's table." Speaking to the court reporter, "Let the record reflect that Officer Bonds has identified the defendants, Mr. Juan Ruiz." "Officer Bonds, would you please describe the events which led up to your issuing a citation to Mr. Ruiz?" "Certainly. I had routine traffic duty that day. I had been on duty for about 6 hours and was patrolling the highway when I drove up on a line of slow-moving cars in the fast lane. I pulled around them in the slow lane, and when I reached the head of the line, I saw Mr. Ruiz in a 1958 Ford Fairlane. I could see immediately that he was going way under the speed limit, so I clocked him. My speedometer registered 35 miles per hour. "That's a lie, man!" Irritated, Judge Simpson raps her gavel. "You're out of order, Mr. Ruiz. You'll have a chance to tell your side of the story in due time." "Officer Bonds, could you show the court the speedometer calibration chart for the police vehicle you're operating that day?" "Oh." Just hand him the calibration chart. "I don't have the calibration chart." "Holy shit." I do not have that, and I wouldn't have a clue where to grab that. Alright, so I'm going to have to load, clearly. Alright, I'm all the way back here. I had to do 2 recordings of the courthouse because I flubbed one of them. I'm going to have to cut back in at the police station on day 4 and see if I can find this chart. Where on earth would this chart be? I assume it would be in the car, but I'm not sure. I don't think it's good enough to say that we don't have it, so I am going to look for it. You're trying to be inconspicuous? Leave the marked car for uniformed officers. Where would I find this chart? Let me just talk through this as I'm going up and grabbing the tracking device for the 3rd time. It's not going to be up here. Maintenance records for the cars. Where would that be? If anywhere, it's going to be on the ground floor. I don't think you'll have it. You deal with evidence. No, it's not you. I don't believe it's in the jail. Let me just make a save before I go back in there. I'm entering with a gun. Officer Bonds, it's extremely tacky to point your gun at a fellow officer, even in jest. Surprised I'm not getting dinged over that. Storage cabinets. Cleaning supplies and paper. Where would we find maintenance records for the speedometer? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Would it be in the computer, perhaps? It's been a while, but let me do something else while we're waiting for the elevator. Make sure that you have sufficient evidence for successful prosecution. How on earth do we grab that? Oh, I've just seen that one there. Refusal to sign a citation. Signature is not an admission of guilt. Only a promise to appear. If the violator refuses to sign, transport the violator to jail. Pregnant women is an exception. That was the first one. Make sure that you have sufficient evidence for successful prosecution. Where do we find that evidence? If this is something that I needed to compile on day one, then I'm screwed. I've run into a dead end. Alright, well, I've got the numbers written down. We're specifically looking for a chart. Don't think it'll be there, will it? That's just a bulletin board of guff. Alright. That doesn't help me. That also doesn't help me, does it? Where would I find this information? Do we even have a traffic division office? Or is it maybe on one of the other desks? It's unlikely, but I'll check there. There shouldn't be anything on that bulletin board outside. The drawer is locked. Paperbacks and phone books. You can't stop crime by ripping up the graph. That will definitely make me feel better. Is it in the briefing room, maybe? There's a good chance it's in the briefing room. Everyone from traffic was in there. Please go into the room and not up twice. Thank you. Daily briefing notes. That there. I don't think I missed anything in here on day one, but I have a terrible feeling whatever I need, it's going to be in there. No, I want you to walk out of there, Sonny. Please don't walk back in. Thank you. Vice door is still locked. Can I do anything with Sydney Ames while I'm here? I have seen the bulletin board just next to the door. Maybe that's it. We need to provide him documentation. And our notebook is currently empty. Whose file is that? I don't know if that's Morales' file or not. No, there's nothing on that bulletin board, and if I click there, that's the door. The thing is, I've lost so much stuff out of my inventory. I've lost a nightstick. That happened on the transitions between days, so I'm thinking that even if I could grab the chart on day 1, that I wouldn't keep it on day 4. This thing has to be around here somewhere. File drawers. Yes, there's something I need here, really. Maybe dispatch would have it? Unlikely, but let's try. I've got a reason to call. I need a speedometer calibration chart. We're looking for the service records for a car, so I would think that will be maintenance. But the thing is, there is no maintenance around here. All we've got are these offices. I can't walk over to the left here. I think. I'll check level 1, but I don't think there's anything down there. There's just locker rooms and a storage room. The janitor's gone. I'm terrified that I've missed something with the janitor as well. It's still empty. Much like my heart. Where on earth would we find this information? It's not in there. I imagine if I walk in there, I'm going to get the shit beaten out of me. Oh! I'm just seeing where Pat Morales is. Alright, I might be at a bit of a dead end here. Where on earth would this thing be? Maybe it's in the police cruiser. If it is, and if I didn't pick it up, then that's hilarious. I can't get inside that thing. I tried that earlier and it didn't work. Yep, there we go. You reach over and open the glove compartment. Yeah, that must be because I've gone upstairs and read the subpoena. There it is. It's a speedometer calibration chart. A service record for this car's speedometer. Departmental policy requires that all speedometers be calibrated every 90 days. Thinking about your upcoming course appearance, you wisely decide to take the speedometer calibration charts with you. You reach over and close the glove compartments. I did not even think of looking in the glove box here. Holy crap. What is wrong with me? You're a homicide detective now. You don't drive a black and white anymore. Jesus. Alright, let's go back to course. Hopefully we've got everything that we need now. No, I can't reach over and grab this one's glove box. Oh boy. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready until you ask for a second thing, and then I'm screwed. I'm just going to click through all this if I don't cut in anyway. All right, let's do this. We point out the defendants. We say that. Simpson gets rather upset. Could you show the court the speedometer calibration chart for the police vehicle you're operating that day? Absolutely. Calibration chart. You hand a calibration chart to the Deputy District Attorney. Here it is. Let the record note the admission of one calibration chart into evidence. I have no further questions, Your Honour. The judge addresses the defence attorney. Your witness, Mr. Meyer. The defence attorney cross-examines you. Officer Bonds, do you recall the time of day this alleged violation took place? Well, I don't recall, but it should be on the ticket. I don't know if I recall it either. I don't have it written down. Yes, the time is on the ticket, but it's not the correct time. My client was at home working on his hydraulic system. Bullshit. Don't tell me I got that wrong. Did I actually get that wrong, or is he just lying for the sake of lying? I want to say he's lying for the sake of lying because I went back and checked. I have no further questions, Your Honour. Have I got the time wrong? Surely not. You may step down now, Officer Bonds. I could have sworn I checked that. Mr. Ruiz, please step forward and be sworn in. He's going to fuck this up. This music. Mr. Ruiz, please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? He's going to embellish it. I do. He didn't say I do essay. Wow. Please state your name for the course. Juan Jose Ruiz. Can you briefly tell us what happened that day, Mr. Ruiz? I was just driving, Your Honor. Not doing nothing. I'm a very careful driver. I didn't do no showing off or nothing in my ride. I wasn't speeding. I wasn't going slow. I wasn't doing nothing. These cops just don't like Chicanos, man. And that's the truth. He'd have busted me if I was going 54. Your witness, Mr. Cannon. I have no questions for this witness, Your Honour. Really? Do you have anything further to say, Mr. Ruiz? No, Your Honor. Okay, he's being smart. Any closing arguments? No, Your Honor. Oh. No, Your Honor. Then I'll proceed with my decision. You may step down, Mr. Ruiz. He's going to get off. Did I really get the time wrong? I refuse to believe that. I'm going to have to go back and check. I don't think it'll be a game over if I've got the time wrong. What the fuck? Based on the officer's vague recollection of the facts surrounding this citation, I find the defendant not guilty. Are you serious? Wow. I told you I'd get you in court, Essie. What? Next time, don't waste my time or the court's. If you can't get a citation right, don't issue one. Is this a game over? No, I'm not happy about that. I'm going to go back and load and redo that. You mumble. Sorry. No, that's bullshit. I could have absolutely sworn that I got time right. I'm going to go back and check. Alrighty, new day, new recording. I have not gone back and played through the game to try and fix this because, according to the internet, this is a bug. Apparently the correct answer here is 1739, and that's what should be showing up. But as we saw in the playthrough, the time was 1801. And the wiki here does mention that there is a bug involving the times, and we saw that earlier in the playthrough as well, because we pulled over that drunk arsehole at 1905 and then took him to jail at 1911. And meanwhile, at the Oak Tree Mall, while Maria was getting stabbed, it was 1832, 40 minutes earlier. So there's definitely a lot of bugs with this sequence. I think what I'll do is I'll take a look at this in post. I'll put 1739 into the ticket regardless of what time shows up on the top left, and we'll see what happens in court. As per the wiki, this doesn't affect our score apparently, so it might be possible still to get 4 points for this. I'm totally not getting 4 points for this, but the outcome of the court case doesn't actually affect our score. I think the only thing that matters is handing over this calibration graph, which isn't actually in our inventory anymore. All right. First thing I was going to do today was put it back in the car. But no, the prosecutor's got it. You notice Morales checking her watch. She suddenly says, "Yo, Sonny, drive me over to the mall real quick, would you? I gotta make a phone call." Again? Grudgingly, you drive Morales to the mall. "Sit tight, boss. I'll only be a minute." Oh, she left her... She seems in an awful hurry this time. She's even neglected to take her purse with her. We have nothing that can take an impression of that key though, do we? And she's going to have the shits with us if she realizes it's missing. Oh, maybe what I can do is put the tracking device in there. Pat's purse rests between the seats. She keeps the key attached to the handle. You take the key, knowing that it'll have to be returned before Morales notices that it's gone. Can anyone here cut a key in like 2 seconds? Morales is making a phone call. She came back very quickly when we were in the car, but if we exited the car, she didn't move. So maybe, just maybe. Ah, look at that. That's the shop of Zach, the keymaker. Is this legal? What can I do for you? Need a key made? I make keys for big locks, small locks, clocks, cars, tanks, and banks. What do you need, fella? I need this. Urgently. You have Pat's keys. So I could have sworn that looking in the car it was only one key, but there's a lot of keys here. Ah, yes. No problem with this little jewel. I'll have a copy in a second. Here you are, fella. That'll be $2.50. I'm so sorry. You give Zach his $2.50. The same price of a rose. Thanks, buddy. Another day, another $2.50. We need to get back here now. Where's she going? No, really, where's she? She's coming back. We need to immediately get back in the car. You have Pat's keys and the duplicate key. In the nick of time, you replace Morales' key and hope she doesn't notice anything funny. See? I'm back! Let's go! Nothing? The radio comes alive. 64 David Litton. Morales says, "This is 64 David, go ahead." That's not her voice. Dispatch comes back and says, 187 in alley 300 block of West Rose. One traffic unit is 1097. 187, I think we all know what that means by now. 1097, I think that means en route. Morales confirms the call. Listen, 64 David copies and we are responding. What am I doing with her voice? Well, you heard it, boss man, she says. Let's roll. I really should have been paying attention to that location. I was too busy trying to figure out Morales' accent. Alright, let me just stop here and I'll bring up the map. It's been a little while since I played, so just getting organised. I heard West Rose, so presumably it's somewhere around here. Where are we at the moment? Rose is 4th off the bottom. Eastbound on Rose. Okay, we need to do a U-turn. Not that I think we can do that. The best I can do is just do a bunch of lefts and then a right. Immediate thought is that it's going to be Carly Reed. It's not here, is it? Why is that showing up? No, we're going westbound. Okay, we're at the opposite side of the map. I think we're heading around here. I thought I was there, but no, I'm over here. I imagine it's going to be somewhere around here. If not, I will load and I'll look at the description again. And I'll actually pay attention this time. I can't call dispatch back. No, alright, let me take another look. Alright, she's taking her time this time. I wonder if I can drive off without her. Can't click through that one, we just need to wait. Yeah, 187 is a murder victim. .300 block of West Rose. Yeah, that places it where I thought it would be. Yeah, now we have an exact location. It's the corner of 3rd and Rose. So we're here, we're heading that way. I'll just do a U-turn and drive here. I'll try and stop at the intersection, but I might need to stop before, after, or... hell, I might even need to stop maybe north or south here. I definitely didn't get a prompt as I came flying past, so maybe I do need to make a manual stop. Alright, let's go. Pat places the portable red light on the dash. Oh, because we're in the undercover car. That button shouldn't even be there. That's just there as a gameplay thing. dealing with a murder victim, I think this is appropriate. I mean, it's not going to help the murder victim, but I think it's appropriate regardless. So, right onto Rose. So we're heading... Ah, fuck. Okay, westbound on Rose. Let's go to 3rd. Yeah, that's fair. The victim's over there in the dumpster. I call the coroner. He's on his way. I'll be posted at the entrance of the alley waiting for the meat wagon, if you need me. I'll do the camera bit, Bonds. I only just saw you there. Hey, Chihuahua. Cute. Okay, Sonny, I got him. I've got to admit, I don't remember legitimately reaching this point in the game. I definitely recall seeing the ending because that ending is burned into my mind, but that was using a DOS command cheat, so this is all... None of this is ringing any bells. The yellow tape marks off the crime scene and prevents curiosity seekers from getting too close. I assume that's who those 4 other people were. It's a street lamp. An alley is a lousy place to die. Absolutely. Your normal, everyday, scum-filled alley. This part of town is full of typical American brick tenements. Ugh. I didn't want to actually approach it just yet. You notice a fresh dent marked with gold paint on this side of the car. That's evidence. It's the abandoned white car. The dent contains gold paint. I don't have a field kit with me. Do I need a field kit with me? I think I do, so I can scrape that. Unless maybe I can use the key. Yeah. You don't have the field equipment necessary to take a clean paint sample. I assume Morales does. But I thought I scoured the office pretty thoroughly, unless it's maybe in my drawer. Oh, I've got to check, don't I? I've got to check. Do I have a save game up there? I don't think I do. No, not that one. I do not give a shit about you, pass. Where am I going? No. This is all day 1. Oh my god. Okay, here we go. Is there a field kit in our desk? Because if there is, that's hilarious. Alright, we're introducing ourselves to Pat. Please don't tell me there's a field kit here. Because if so, I'm going to need to go back to when I picked up the subpoena. No, okay. It's locked. File cabinets. I'm not sure where we can pick up a field kit. If anywhere. It's definitely not on the ground floor. It's not in our locker. It's not in the storage room. It's not in Vice because Vice is locked. Yeah, I'm going to proceed on the assumption that we can't grab this gold paint. Although, maybe... Police Quest 2, thank you very much. There are no flares in the flare box. I feel like the game will give me points for it eventually. That is a fuel kit. There's a metal briefcase in the trunk. The camera's gone. The briefcase contains tools and supplies for evidence collection. The scraping tool is used to scrape dried evidence such as blood or paint off of other surfaces. We need that. The envelopes are used for protecting and storing collected evidence. Is that a matchbook? The toothpicks are useful for removing evidence from small places. Small, hard to reach places. It's curious that their flare box is empty. The trunk contains items you may need in the field. Absolutely. I'd like to close it now. My immediate thought is maybe it was in the glove box. But I'm actually kind of impressed that it is in the trunk, same as Police Quest 2. Awesome. Notice fresh dents? Yep. Let's grab a sample of that gold paint. You carefully scrape some of the gold paint transfer from the side of the white car along with a little white paint into the paper envelope. Incredibly important. So at this point I don't know what happened here, whether there was a car accident and this guy bit it, whether he was driving it or whether it's been here for a while. For all I know, that could be completely unrelated. Where the fuck did Pat go? She's up to no good. The back alley asphalt is cracked and filthy. Weeds have struggled through in several places. Oh, I forgot to check something. I need to check something. Sorry. 1 moment. Let me get back here. Can I put the tracking device in here? No. I wanted to see if Pat took that somewhere and maybe if we could track her, but no. Alright. You look frighteningly similar to the person that Carly Reed identified. His face looks anything but peaceful. A bloody shirt covers the upper torso. You examine the body. By its skin color and state of rigor mortis, you'd guess that the victim's been dead for at least a few hours. The face looks like Steve Rocklin. Looking closely at the victim's hands, you notice what appears to be hair and skin embedded under the fingernails. Alright, so we need to... Ooh. That's an extreme close-up. We need to use our toothpicks on that. Using the toothpick, you scrape under the victim's fingernails. You then place the collected skin and hair into a sample envelope. What an awfully smelly place to die. I mean, there's no indication that he died here. He could have been stabbed somewhere else and then he could have been dumped in here. What can we see? I don't think I can use a scraper or the toothpicks here. I'm just scared of lifting that up in case I'm destroying evidence. But at this point, I think we need to either lift up his shirt or unzip his pants. Why not both? Ah! Okay, that's terrible. You look carefully at the knife wounds in the upper chest. Not a pretty sight. But it's the pentagram carved into the flesh that really hits you between the eyes. Not another one, you mutter. That's all Listen needs. Some freaked out serial killer that thinks he's got a hotline to Satan. You carefully search the body and remove the victim's identification. Andrew Dance. Okay, it's not Steve Rocklin. I've written down his name, I've written down his license number so we can check that when we get back to the car. And I've also written down that address. I don't think I'll need it, but it's probably good to know. There's nothing more in the victim's pockets. You examine the knife wounds in the upper chest. Leon will be able to tell you more about the wounds in the coroner's report. Who's Leon? Coroner? That's a nasty... Come on, game. You have plenty of trash at home. You already have the hair and skin sample. No, we can't talk to him. Is there anything else I can potentially do here? No. I'm just trying to confuse the coroner by shooting him. Tracking device, maybe? No. I don't think there's anything else we can glean from this. But at this point, we really need to have a chat to the psychologist and... Hey, Bonds. Nice day, eh? Where's the stiff? He's hanging in there, Leon. You logged the victim's information in your notebook before handing the ID to the coroner. That's smart. Ah, not a pretty picture, eh? Let me guess. His name isn't Lucky. His name's Andrew Dent. I'll take care of him now, Bonds. You can go catch some bad guys. That's Leon. He's a great coroner, but the guy has a sick sense of humor. Not sure how we move away here. Clicking my mouse all over the place, but not much seems to be happening. Come on. There we go. So yesterday, I'm eating one of my wife's bagels, no locks because she's got to go to the deli, and I'm using this napkin. I think it's clean, right? I had to put that in post. I didn't get to read the last line. Did you hear the one about the Orthodox Jewish coroner and the hot dog salesman? You betting on who in the Super Bowl? Are you crazy? Are you insane? You want to kill yourself? Let me do it. It'll be quicker. So I says to her, Aunt Sophie, could we just this once not turn this into a funeral already? Just a very frustrating recording chat. The garage door is closed and locked. Don't need to worry about the garage. The car's been abandoned for some time. There's nothing of interest in there. Okay, so if it's been abandoned for some time, why are we so concerned about the gold paint? The back alley asphalt is cracked and filthy. Yep, read that. Unless maybe we think there was a gold car that came screaming through here with his body, and then it was dumped here. Alright, where's our notebook? Apparently, the information about license is in the notebook. Also, assuming that we open up a murder case when we get back to the computer, I think it's going to be there. But let me just write down 300 West Rose. This is where the body was found. Alright, what else do we need to do here? I'm not sure if we need to do anything here or not. I'm trying to look at the side of the dumpster. Yep, there we go. The rusty dumpster contains the corpse of a murdered man. You pray to God that when your time comes, you end up someplace more dignified than the trash. Sonny, I've got news for you. We're all going to end up in the ground someday. Happens to the best of us. And also the worst of us. Right, I feel like I should put my equipment back in here. Once again, Police Quest 2 has trained me well. What were you doing, Pat? See, unlike Keith, at least she is maliciously acting like an arsehole. As opposed to Keith, who's just a twat. Alright. need to head back to the station, I think. I need to test out a key. And also open a case and log some evidence. I do wonder if we can track down Steve Rockland. Just move my cursor over there because I'm looking at the OBS window to see where the police station is. It's on 6th. Right, where are you? The fact that Pat said nothing, the fact that there was no scripted sequence there, it makes me think that maybe I'm coming back too early, but it is late. I'll catch up with you. Gotta run to my car. I'm never giving her a consistent voice. Alright, I need to open a case, I think. And then I need to come back down here and hand over the evidence. There is also something else I can do involving our co-worker's drawer. Anyone at the office? It's empty. There is another thingamajig in our intro. There is a note in your baskets. Not now. You find a piece of paper with a series of numbers on it. 386. Writing that down. So, immediate thoughts. I could maybe try dialing that number if that's an extension. It could be a locker code. It could be something else. Carefully, you close and relock the drawer. Sonny, Dr. Wagner called and would like you to stop by the hospital. We'll do that later tonight. Alright, so we've got some work to do. Some actual police work. Homicide, new file. Based on the information you obtained at the murder scene, you open up a new file on the Dent's murder. Wow, we're going straight to Steve Rockland as the suspect. Holy shit. I wonder if that's changed for Marie Wilkins. Sorry, Marie Bonds. Keep getting that wrong. Multiple stab wounds with pentagram incision on torso. Puncture wounds measuring, yep, same weapon. Ritual cult murder. Associated with attempted murder of Marie Bonds. Motive cult murder. There's nothing here, so I think we need to go downstairs now and hand over the evidence. Let's review 199144 and see if that's changed at all. Suspect Steve Rockland. Doesn't mention anything about a cult. Alright, okay. Let me just have a very brief look at this, but I don't think we're going to get anything useful. .386. My immediate thought is that's a locker code, but that means we need to get into the women's locker room. Yeah, there's nothing unusual there. Oh, hang on. That's a different address. I wrote down 19 first. Curious. Okay. Let me go downstairs and log this evidence. Just writing down this case number before I forget. 199145. I'm not going to do your voice again. Let's hand this over. Our case number, it is 199145. Name is Andrew Dents. Skin and hair samples. Under victim's fingernails. Analyzed for DNA profile. I just wait for her to come back. Gold paint transfer. Left rear quarter panel of abandoned 1973 Ford Pinto. Analyzed for possible vehicle type. Okay, so if we can match any of that information to Steve Rockland, then I think that'll be a win. Just press the button. Trying to pry those doors open with your hands will only give you a hernia. I'd still like to try it, just saying. I allegedly have a bunch of stuff in my notebook. Does that count as documentation, sir? That door is still locked. Same thing. Can I give this to you? Pretty please. No. Can I give you my computer access card and just tell you to do the work yourself? How do we get the documentation? The filing cabinets have a lot of dirt on a lot of people. I would love to try grabbing that very briefly. I said, keep your hands off, Sergeant. Are you deaf? Once again, it's been a few days. I've forgotten everyone's voices. I don't want to upset him. Where do we get the documentation? Maybe we don't have it yet. I hope it's not possible to obtain the documentation yet, because if so, then I have totally missed it. Okay, let me go back down to the car. I don't know if Sonny's going to automatically go, oh, okay, I've had enough for the day, let's go to the hospital, or whether we'll need to drive there ourselves. If it's the former, then I'm confident that I haven't missed anything. But if it's the latter, then I've missed something. Oh, that makes me think I've missed something. Ooh, actually, before I go there, is there any chance I can access the ladies' locker room at this hour of night? I've got to imagine there's got to be some time where I can access this room. I mean, what else would 386 be? If not a locker code. No. Oh! We don't need to hear that. Alright, Pass, I'm going to the hospital. Going to have a chat to my wife. You could wait in your own car or in your own office or something, but you don't have to come with me for this. Okay, we're time traveling again. What the fuck? This shit makes no sense.